dating apps are for psychopaths. And let's talk about who are psychopaths. They are people with no empathy. They were traumatized as children, raped and abused by family members, by relatives, close friends of family. They were neglected by their parents. Or in some occasions, they were spoiled by family, but never truly loved. Psychopaths, they are children with the trauma from their early childhood. They don't feel emotions as normal human beings. They mostly feel negative emotions such as rage, anger, desire to harm someone else, desire to extract resources from other people, use other people to achieve their own goals. What is the difference between narcissist and psychopath? Narcissist is not really physically violent. Narcissists are they're very strategic about their moves, but they rarely become violent, physically violent. They can, but it's not their main characteristics. But psychopath, they are all narcissists. Childhood trauma, no empathy, negative emotions. They are unable to process negative emotions inside their head. That's why they go and seek thrills. That's why they have addictions. They use drugs, alcohol. They like to switch women. It's their addiction to sex, to pornography, to gambling. All of these addictions are just to run away from what's going on inside their head. And inside their head live very negative emotions, trauma from their past, unprocessed trauma. Anger, fear. And fear, it causes this aggression. Aggression is a manifestation of fear. So they're very aggressive, they're very violent, especially with their partners. Because they cannot just be randomly violent on the streets. I mean, they can, of course, but there is going to be consequences. Other people will see them being violent with strangers. Other people will call the police and inform the police about their violent behavior. So they can be violent with anyone, but they try to be violent at home where no one else can see and witness their horrible behavior towards their partners. And usually they choose their partners who were less powerful than them, and they are women, mostly women. They can abuse men as well, because psychopaths, they don't have sexuality, like they don't have preferences when it comes to their sexuality. So they are fluid. They can date men, women. They don't really care, as long as they can abuse that person and use their resources. But most of the time, psychopaths scared of someone who is more powerful than them. So that's why they choose women who can't fight back, women who would tolerate their behavior, unspeakable behavior, horrible behavior, disrespect. So psychopath needs constantly to change partners because they get tired easily. After 1 week, they need a new partner. Like they tired, they bored. They get bored so easily. So that's why dating apps are a perfect place to be at for psychopath. Psychopath can easily, with no effort, to log in, to download dating app, post some cute photoshopped pictures, and wait like a predator, and then catch their victims by using lies and manipulations. Psychopaths, they try to lure women to meet them in person, and they lie. Everything they say, it's a lie. Psychopaths, they are liars. They cannot tell the truth. They just sick people. It's difficult for an average person to understand how their mind works. It's really complicated. You don't have to even try to understand how their sick mind works. It doesn't really matter. You just have to know they are predators. They cannot be healed. There is no way they can heal. During the course of their lives, they're gonna do the same thing over and over and over again in a circle. So their behavior is a circle of different events. And all of these events are very predictable. It's stages, it's different stages. So psychopath download dating app, goes online and search for different, let's say, women. So he searches for different women. He talks to multiple women at once. That's why psychopaths would never call you by your name, because he simply can forget or say a wrong name by mistake. So that's why psychopaths usually use words like baby, sweetheart, cutie, stuff like that. Psychopath at one time talks to so many women. And how do I know all of this? Because I've been dating a psychopath who I met on dating app, on Christian dating app for Christians. So ironically, he was far away from being a Christian. So he goes there, he talks to women, and he lies about who he is. He lies about his job, his income. He creates different story. Especially psychopath loves to create like so pity story, so you would feel sorry for him. And he tries to extract money from you by telling you how he is currently financially suffering, or how is his parents sick right now and he has so many medical bills to cover. So he tells you all of this information to make you feel sorry for him and to send him money, to give him money. And most of women, they do care because they're nice people, they're kind people. So I was a kind person at that time, and I listened to my psychopath ex-boyfriend stories about how difficult his life was. He lived in Africa at that time. And he said he couldn't find a job, he couldn't buy food. And then after some time, his father became sick. He needed to pay for his medical bills. That's what he told me. And because I believed him, I sent him money. And that's how he works. This was his job, everyday job. He goes on dating apps, he lies to women, and he gets paid by these women. He told me that later on. He told me all of this, and I know it's true because I saw him talking to multiple women online. I saw him doing that. And I saw him cheating every single day with multiple women. So I know that part was not a lie. When he told me that was his job, everyday job, he also told me that in Nigeria, because he was from Nigeria, they have groups, like criminal groups of people who do the same thing and they help one another. And he was like a leader of one of these groups. He helped other psychopaths to do the same thing with women across the world, to extract number of their credit cards, to make women to send money, stuff like that. All of this, he already had scripts, ready scripts, and he provided these scripts to other criminals, and they did this to multiple women. So dating apps are a playground for a psychopath. Psychopaths go on dating app with no effort. Most of dating apps they use free dating apps, so they don't spend any amount of money. They lie, they manipulate women, and that's how they get paid. Every single day they get hundreds, thousands of dollars on their bank accounts. And women, they just feel lonely. Women just don't understand the power of loneliness, of the power of being free. Women, we want connection, we want love, and we don't understand even what love is. We just heard it from movies, we heard this word, we heard the concept of family, we heard about concept of love, but we really don't grasp on what it really is. And I was naive. That's another thing. I was naive, and many women are naive. We all want to be loved. We all want to believe in fairy tales with happy end. And that's why we build something with this psychopath online without even knowing them, without even meeting them. I met my psychopath after speaking to him for 13 months online via WhatsApp. 13 months I didn't see him in person, yet I was sending him money. How stupid I was. And I'm telling you about my mistakes that I'm ashamed of, really ashamed of. So you wouldn't do the same mistake. I just want, if I prevent at least one soul from doing same mistakes that I did, I would be so happy. That's my purpose, to share my experience so you wouldn't get yourself into this shameful, horrible situation as I am right now. So psychopath also, they use women to get women's energy, and our feminine energy is life-creating energy. We cannot waste it on psychopath. They are losers. They don't deserve our energy, yet they manipulate us to give them our bodies for free. And once they get access to our bodies, they try to disrespect our bodies by giving us sexually transmitted diseases and getting women pregnant with their children. Why they want to have kids? They want to have as many kids as possible to forever put a woman on a leash and never let her go. Use that woman for the whole life. And a child for them is just a tool to get this woman on the leash. Later on, psychopath will abuse mother of the child and a child. Both of them gonna be abused by psychopath. There is no mercy. Psychopath has no mercy for anyone. Psychopath raped me multiple times. He gave me sexually transmitted diseases, and he told me his purpose was to get me pregnant. So, listen to me. He used Viagra, and he raped me every single day for 10 fucking hours. Every single day, while I was having genital herpes outbreaks. It was extremely painful. He was raping me with the only purpose to get me pregnant. And thank God he couldn't do it. He couldn't accomplish that evil mission. While he was doing all these horrible things with me, that psychopath ex, he was still talking to girls every single day online. He rented a hostel. He rented a place at a hostel, and he went there because they had free Wi-Fi. He had a laptop, and he was sitting in that hostel in the common area talking to women on dating apps, meeting up with them and transmitted to them STDs. The same way he did it to me, same way he did that to other women. It was a script from beginning to end. It was his everyday job, 9-to-5 job or 24/7 job. And women are so naive. Women pay attention to looks, and trust me, that psychopath, he bought designer clothes, he bought expensive watches, expensive sneakers. He tried to look nice and presentable. He had a nice cologne on. He smelled good. He had always fresh haircut. So women noticed him. He was attractive looking for other women, and they met up with him. However, not all psychopaths, they look good. I'm just talking about this particular psychopath. He looks good. But other psychopaths, they may look very ugly. And still, they can communicate well, and women overlook that they're not attractive. So, psychopath, they are predators on dating apps. Dating apps were designed specifically for them, to prey for their victims, to use and abuse mostly women, men as well. They abuse men too, because my psychopath, he had a confession that he did the same thing with men, but he said men was not as easy to manipulate as women. So that was a reason why he used women instead of men. If you're single right now, thinking about going to dating apps, know that all men that are there are psychopaths. They are there because they don't want to make any effort to make a real connection with a woman in real life. They don't want to take you out. They don't want to buy you flowers. They don't want to buy you any gifts. They don't want to take you out to a nice restaurant or cafe. They don't want to do all this hard work. They don't want to spend money on you. They want a free, easy, quick access to your body, to your finances, to your time, to your soul. And the end game is to destroy you completely and to end you. And I'm not kidding here. They serving the dark energy. They are dark energy, black hole. So they want to end you in all and every way possible. Financially end you, emotionally, physically, to take your health away, to give you STDs, and to make you suffer, really suffer in pain, to disrespect, to abuse you. That's what they want. So, if you're tired, sick and tired to be single, think about million times before you even look at dating apps. Don't even think about downloading them and use them, because all you're going to have is more heartache, more disappointments, diseases, and empty pockets. That's all I wanted to say. Stay safe, stay single, and try to find meaning in your life alone. Trust me, you're gonna find beauty eventually if you really look for it.